React is a divisive topic. You either love it, hate it, or you've spent the last 5 years stuck with it at work while venting to your partner and promising yourself you'll switch jobs before losing your mind. The truth is that React has a lot going for it. It's been around for over a decade, it is backed by 2 powerful companies, it influenced every major framework, and whether you like JSX or not, it's impossible to pretend React hasn't earned its place. But with the latest advancements, I was feeling like maybe I'm too old, too busy, or maybe just too dumb to use this new modern flavor of React. And by the looks of it, this feeling was shared by many other developers. However, a recent blog post from Dan Abramov suggests the problem might not be us after all. Dan is a core team member of the React team, and he spends most of his time explaining and shaping the mental models around React. Having a designated person in charge of explaining the mental models behind the UI library that paints buttons on the screen should already be a red flag, but this article is the cherry on top. Somehow, the best way to explain how React server components work is to use Astro. That's not a joke. That's exactly what Dan Abramov just did. In his article, he walks you through Astro's mental model first, just to help you understand React's. That should tell you everything you need to know. If the people designing the system need to explain it with another system to make it make sense, maybe, just maybe, the system is too complicated. Let me explain. Astro is built on a simple idea. It has 2 separate, distinct worlds. Astro components run at build time or on the server. They can read files, fetch data, talk to databases, and perform all that stuff that never goes to the browser. Client islands, on the other hand, run in the browser and use things like hooks or event listeners. Data flows in one direction from server to client. You can't render an Astro component from a client island because by the time the island runs, Astro has already done its job. It's clear, it's predictable, and most importantly, you know what runs where. Now, let's look at React server components. They also have 2 worlds. Server components run on the server and can do server stuff. Client components run in the browser and they do client stuff. Instead of Astro files and client directives, you get JavaScript files and a use client comment directive. But here's the catch. There's no file extension or clean separation between components to guide you. This is where the model starts to feel slippery, and it's why Dan had to explain it with Astro. It is more than obvious when you're in an Astro file running on the server, and it is clear when you cross into a client island. There's no confusion and no mental gymnastics. React server components try to be seamless. In theory, that's elegant. In practice, it's just confusing, and even Dan admits this. His whole post is an attempt to give server components a mental model by borrowing one from Astro. Astro makes its boundaries really clear. React server components, on the other hand, don't care about a clear separation. Since everything is just React, you can do some clever things, like importing a shared component from both server and client worlds, or using suspense to orchestrate loading between the 2, but you have to know what runs where. What's more concerning is that React server components aren't even a framework. They are a spec, so if you want to use them, you're pretty much locked into Next.js at this point. The hard truth is that if Dan had to write 2,000 words explaining RSC using Astro's simpler model, maybe the React team should have just used this simpler model in the first place, and we should probably do the same. Until next time, thanks for watching.